The journey begins in the quiet moments no one sees, when a person sits with their own thoughts and feels the weight of unrealized potential pressing like a storm behind the ribs. It is in these silent spaces that the truth reveals itself, the truth that life is not waiting to change. It is waiting for them to change. And in that moment, a decision forms, not loud or dramatic, but undeniable. Before we go deeper into semen retention mastery, subscribe to this channel and join our Telegram community linked below. You'll get guidance, insights, and exclusive updates designed to accelerate your growth. Stay connected, your discipline, focus, and transformation begin right here. The decision to rise becomes a pulse. It beats through the body like a spark trying to become a flame. It whispers that the world has not defeated them, that their story is still unwritten, that the strength they crave is already inside them, waiting to be called forward. This whisper grows louder every time they refuse to settle for mediocrity. Most people never hear that whisper because they drown it in noise. They bury it under distractions, under comfort, under excuses that feel safe but quietly suffocate their future. But the ones who rise learn to sit with discomfort and confront the truth. They realize that transformation begins the moment they stop running from themselves. This is where the fire starts. Not in grand victories, but in small daily acts of courage. Choosing discipline over impulse. Choosing growth over comfort. Choosing action over paralysis. These choices may be invisible to the world, but they forge a different life, one defined by intention instead of accident. There comes a moment when a person looks at the chaos of their life and decides it cannot continue. They see the patterns holding them back and finally admit that there is no savior coming. No miracle waiting. No shortcut to greatness. There is only the decision to take ownership and become someone worthy of their own respect. That moment is the true turning point. It breaks the old version of the self like a shell and demands emergence. It forces the individual to stop blaming circumstances and start shaping them. It transforms fear into fuel and doubt into determination. From that moment, everything begins to shift. The shift is subtle at first. Energy returns in small waves. Focus sharpens. The mind becomes clearer. The inner voice that once whispered begins to speak with conviction. The person realizes they are not broken, not weak, not behind. They are simply becoming. Every transformation begins with a realization that life will not reward hesitation. Life responds to movement, to intention, to resilience. Those who rise are not always the strongest, but they are the ones who refuse to give up on themselves even when the world underestimates them. There is a kind of power that awakens when someone stops negotiating with their excuses, when they stop waiting for the perfect moment, when they stop apologizing for wanting more. This power is not loud. It's steady. It's grounded. It's unshakable, because it comes from self-respect, not validation. People often search for external motivation, but the truth is that real motivation is built, not found. It comes from honoring one's own commitments. It comes from showing up even on days when everything feels heavy. It comes from proving to oneself, again and again, that they will not quit. The road forward is not always pretty. Growth demands sacrifice. Old habits resist change. Fear tries to pull a person back into the familiar, but every time they choose to keep moving, they carve a new path. They realize they do not need permission to evolve. Some days feel monumental. Others feel like a battle against invisible forces, and yet all of it matters. Every step compounds. Every effort adds weight to their momentum. Over time, the small victories become a wave that cannot be ignored. As the journey continues, something remarkable happens. The individual stops comparing themselves to others. They stop measuring their worth through external eyes. They stop chasing validation and start creating meaning. They begin to trust their own pace. They see that the old version of themselves was a stepping stone, not a prison. They understand that the mistakes they made were teachers, not shackles. They no longer feel trapped by their past because they are too busy building their future. Slowly, confidence grows. Not the shallow kind that depends on applause, but the deep kind that comes from surviving storms and choosing to stand tall anyway. This confidence radiates in everything they do. It changes how they speak, how they walk, how they think. Momentum builds. Goals that once felt distant begin to look possible, then probable, then inevitable. The person realizes they are becoming the type of individual they once envied, not because of luck, but because of relentless effort and belief. They learn to embrace discomfort, recognizing that every significant breakthrough lies on the other side of fear. They learn to value discipline, understanding that consistency will take them places motivation never could. They learn to honor their journey, even when progress feels invisible. Eventually, the world begins to notice. People ask, what changed? They want to know the secret. They want to know how the transformation happened. But the truth is simple. The person chose to stop being a prisoner of their impulses and started being the architect of their destiny. The shift becomes undeniable. Strength becomes visible. Purpose becomes magnetic. The individual who once felt lost now moves with clarity. They are no longer controlled by their past. They are driven by their future. With time, resilience becomes their second nature. Challenges no longer break them, they shape them. Setbacks become data, not defeat. Failures become stepping stones, not endpoints. They learn to bounce back faster every time. Their energy changes. People feel it when they walk into a room. They carry themselves differently. There is calm in their presence and certainty in their decisions. They no longer chase approval. They create impact. This new identity is not an accident. It is the result of countless moments when they chose growth over comfort. Every struggle strengthened them. Every doubt refined them. Every victory fueled them. The journey transformed them into someone they once never believed they could be. Eventually, they look in the mirror and see a different person. Not because their appearance changed, but because their spirit did. Their eyes hold a fire that wasn't there before. Their posture holds a confidence time could not erase. The person they used to be would barely recognize the person they have become. And that is the beauty of evolution. Growth is not supposed to be comfortable. It is supposed to disrupt, reshape, and elevate. This transformation is not a miracle story. It is a human story, a story of courage, determination, and self-respect. A story of what happens when someone decides their future matters more than their excuses. Every person has this potential. Every person has a fire waiting to be awakened. Every person can rise from their lowest point and rebuild their life with purpose. The difference lies in who chooses to act. The world does not reward the passive. It rewards the persistent. The ones who show up. The ones who fall and rise again. The ones who refuse to settle for a life that does not ignite their soul. In the end, the greatest victory is not in achieving external success. It is in becoming someone who can look in the mirror and feel proud of the person staring back. Someone who knows they fought for themselves. Someone who knows they earned their transformation. When a person walks this path long enough, they stop needing motivation. They become motivation. Their life becomes evidence that change is possible. Their journey inspires others to rise as well. This is how legacies are born. Not through perfection, but through perseverance. Not through ease, but through resilience. Not through chance, but through choice. The journey of transformation is open to anyone willing to take the first step. The path will test them, challenge them, and sometimes break them, but it will also elevate them, empower them, and reveal strengths they never knew they had. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Greatness is not for the chosen few. It is for the ones who choose themselves. The ones who decide their future deserves everything they have. The ones who understand that every struggle is a chapter, not the end of the story. And when the world finally sees who they have become, they will realize that the journey was worth every sacrifice. Because the person standing at the end is powerful, focused, grounded, and unstoppable. Transformation begins now, not tomorrow. Not when circumstances change. It begins the moment a person decides they are done living beneath their potential. And once that decision is made, nothing can hold them back.